Give me a bite. Give me a bite. Give me a piece of that. 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 Bite off a piece of that. Bite-sized Thursday.
Welcome, one and all. Welcome back. In case you forgot what title you clicked on, it is Bite-Sized Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. And in case you're new here, we each break down a month. We do a little special theme, and this theme, we're going back through the decades. We worked through the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and you know what today is? The 2000s. No, it's not. It's the 90s. We're bringing back Frosted Tips. We're bringing back, what are the,
Frosted Tips?
Frosted Tips.
I know what that is.
Hey, I know someone who had Frosted Tips. You know someone who had Frosted Tips.
Not gonna lie, at one point in my life, I wanted Frosted Tips, but I didn't.
Good thing you didn't get them.
Because the Backstreet Boys were my jam. The NSYNC was my jam.
The NSYNC?
I sound like a really old man now.
The NSYNC.
The NSYNC. But
I prefer All For One.
But
and that's not a bad
we're not talking about music. No, we're talking about TV shows. And there's a lot of hit TV shows in the 90s, but today Jared has picked a special one for us. Jared, do enlighten the folks on what you picked, unless they clicked on the title, which they sure already know what it is.
The thought process, Jared. Do enlighten us. Your whole face was twitching. Like you could have just said, "What was your pick?" You said, "Do enlighten us." That's funny. I picked one of my favorite sitcoms of all time, which is up there with MASH. I can never choose out of all the sitcoms I like. I picked Frasier.
Woo!
Spin-off of Cheers, which both shows lasted a long time and were very, very, very popular and very successful.
Good old Kelsey Grammer, baby.
Yep, Kelsey Grammer plays the titular character. He is a psychiatrist, but a radio psychiatrist, so people call into his show. That is the premise. He has moved from Boston, where Cheers takes place, back home to Seattle, where his elderly former policeman dad moves in with him, and he deals with his brother, and they have a live-in physical therapist / maid named Daphne, who's British. And those are the four main characters.
I forgot about his dad.
I had no clue of any of this.
Some of the best humor in the show is
so
Frasier, and Niles is his brother, putting on airs and trying to be all uppity and high class, and then their dad is the most blue collar person. It's so funny.
And their dad has that little what is it, Jack Russell Terrier or something like that?
Eddie.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
It's so
Hey, dog representation. Woo!
Yep. But this one I've seen only once. It's called The Ski Lodge. It's from season 5, episode 14. And I remember it being really funny, and that's about it. It's Frasier, Niles, Daphne, and a bunch of other people are at a ski lodge. There's a bunch of love triangle stuff played for laughs the whole time, and it gets a little zany. That's all I remember, because it's been 4 years since I saw it, and I could not remember a great episode off the top of my head, so I went to IMDb, and this is the highest rated episode, so that's what I picked.
All right.
But I do remember laughing a lot at this episode.
I have literally zero contact. I've never seen an episode of Frasier. I've never seen, I know this is going to sound crazy, I've never seen an episode of Cheers either, so I'm not used to this character at all. So I am very...
It's a little less
curious.
weird that you haven't seen a episode. Actually, you were born in 96, right?
95, yeah.
Yeah, that's not that weird.
I mean,
it was winding down by that time.
I know it was winding down, but it's...
Frasier?
No. Season 5 is in 1998, which is this episode. Okay. And there are 11 seasons. Ended in 2004.
I thought it...
Whoa, it ended in... It ended
something like that. Yeah, if
wow.
the timing's right. Yeah, I think it ran 93 to 04.
Huh.
Cheers ran 82 to 93.
Interesting.
It's still not that weird, though.
Yeah.
For his age group.
Yeah,
I mean, I knew it was super, super popular show. That's why I'm just surprised it never came across.
I mean, there's a lot of people that can quote Cheers having never even seen it.
Valid.
And I have not met them. I've met one person that I know that is a big Cheers fan.
Mm-hmm.
And it always confused me because it's this is one of the biggest sitcoms of all time.
Yeah.
And it ran a long time and has a lot of iconic characters. But no one ever talks about it, at least around me. And Frasier's the same way. My parents have watched it and like it, but everyone else I talk to either has never heard of it or just never watched it. Except you said you've seen some of it, right?
Some of it.
Yeah, just two massive shows that it is a thing where they're bigger in their time than they are in retrospect, which is a shame because I'm working through Cheers very slowly right now, and I like it so far. Very, yeah.
Faster than Digimon. Faster than Dickey's working through Chernobyl. Am I the only one that finishes things around here?
To be fair,
it just takes me a while.
I finished many things other than Chernobyl.
You haven't finished Belfast, and that's just a movie.
Yeah, there's 2. Okay, you picked out 2 out of the last several things that I've watched that I've actually finished. Congratulations, Jake. Okay, on that note, is there anything else you want to enlighten us before we get into this episode?
I could be completely wrong about this, and I'm sorry if I am. I have done no research. Wasn't Andy Kaufman like a taxi driver on Cheers or something?
No, he's in the show Taxi.
Which
is a completely different sitcom.
Okay.
And he hated it.
That I knew.
That's a whole nother discussion. Well, we have to watch Taxi at some point.
I just wondered because I remembered that, and for some reason my brain thought it was the same show.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
But I understand the thought process anyway.
There you go. All right. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to watch this episode and stay tuned after a quick 5-second bite to hear our thoughts. So, on that note, let's
take a bite.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after that. Honestly, fantastic episode. That's one of the funniest... Honest to God, that's one of the funniest episodes of TV I've seen in a long time.
It was like live action Looney Tunes.
It really was just like the running back and forth between doors. So really quick, do we want to like explain what like the episode was before we get into it? So, you know the names of the characters. So,
yes.
Could you say the names? Because I don't remember who.
Do you want me just to
go ahead? Because I loved it, but I don't remember all the names.
Roz, Frasier's producer.
Okay.
She wins a raffle for the ski lodge. She's pregnant, so she can't do any of the skiing activities or whatnot.
Right.
So Frasier trades her. He's gonna buy her a TV, and she gives him the tickets.
The tickets. Yeah.
So Frasier, his brother Niles, his father Martin, and then Daphne, who is the housemaid / physical therapist for Martin. She's a live-in.
Mm-hmm.
All go to a ski lodge, and Daphne brings her friend Annie.
Okay.
Who I think this might be the only time she shows up. I can't remember.
Okay, that's fair.
So when they get there, their instructor is Guy, a gay Frenchman.
Yes.
And so how it works
the love triangles are brilliantly made.
So Niles has had a thing for Daphne the entire run of the show up to this point.
I did not know that. Okay.
And Niles is now going through divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So Niles wants to tell Daphne how he feels, and he thinks, oh, this is how I can get close to her.
Sure, makes sense.
Daphne has the hots for Guy.
Yes.
But Guy has the hots for Niles. Annie has the hots for Niles. Guy thinks that Annie and Daphne have the hots for each other.
Yes.
And then Frasier has the hots for Annie, and he's told by Martin, who lost his hearing for the episode's ears wouldn't pop, that he mishears that from Daphne that Annie wants Frasier.
Yes.
So that's really complicated.
It's very...
But they use a lot of physical humor in it to convey that. Like, they'll say a line and then just give a look and you know exactly where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
And they're running... The whole second half of the episode is them running room to room.
That part...
It's always funny because whenever they walk in and the lights off and you're like, oh, this is going to be good.
As soon as they flipped off the lights, I'm like, oh, here we go. They're going to... But I didn't see the God, okay. I'm just still laughing so hard. The hopping back and forth between bedroom to bedroom to bedroom, to character to character to character was flawless. It was funny as hell. I was crying the entire time.
And it's helped by not only do they have the doors to the main room, they have doors between all the rooms.
Yes, that definitely helps.
It all starts with the two girls mixing up what their rooms are.
Yep.
That's how this all starts.
Yup, and then they go start. That's what it was. It's really because because you're right. Because like when they start going into the wrong rooms, that's when it really gets chaotic, and everyone's so confused about who wants who.
Poor Frasier.
Poor Frasier.
You're saying that lust coursing through, and no one had the huts for me. I'll see you all at breakfast.
That's another thing I want to mention is like there is a couple of people like out there that like Morgan Freeman, like Sam Elliott, that I want narrating my life. Kelsey Grammer is one of them. His voice is so smooth and
It's
just
sultry.
it's so
it's a combination of he has that great deeper voice, but he also, the way he's written, they throw so many pompous just everything into his character.
Yeah.
He's putting it on, but it's one of those things where he puts it on and believes in it.
I kind of got that.
So funny. It leads to half the show or more is, I feel like the two most common types of episodes are just like most 90s sitcoms, everyone has the wrong idea, one miscommunication, and it blows out of proportion.
Yeah.
The other one is Frasier or Frasier and Niles have an idea and try to do it, and it goes horribly wrong. Like there's so many times they're trying to put on like some kind of party, and they get too involved in the details and just try too hard, and that's why it fails. It would work fine if they weren't so meticulous.
If they weren't, yeah. Oh my god, it made me laugh so much.
Did you like it, Jake?
Yeah.
You've seen this one. You
This
said
is another one. Yeah.
Oh, you've seen this before?
This is another show that I kind of grew up with. Started around the same time as like Friends, didn't it?
I think so.
Ish.
Early
Yeah,
90s.
Friends is 94 to 04, right? Does that sound
Yeah,
right?
something
And then
like
this
that.
is like 93 to 04. So like
yeah,
the exact
really, it's the same time.
But,
What
yeah,
network is Friends?
NBC.
NBC.
And this was CBS, it said, right?
Yeah.
So
I did have a number of things to say about it. I think the 80s and the 90s are really the golden age of sitcoms.
Yeah.
I mean, you have good ones before, but like really just they're all just genuinely nostalgic from the 80s and 90s.
for people our age, at least,
Yeah.
that grew up on them, or maybe the people older than us who were watching them live that liked them.
Yeah. What else was I going to say? Oh, something I will say about 80s and 90s sitcoms. They always seem to make me like the really funny ones make me feel embarrassed.
They're really
Like,
good
to
at
watch. It's weird.
like I think cringe comedy is a part of what makes them so entertaining. It's just like you just try to like imagine yourself in like those situations, and it's just like, oh no, I can't stop watching. Oh no, it's just so funny.
But then you look at it in an episode like this, I don't think would ever get written. Like, maybe not an episode like this, but like I think in the 80s and 90s, gay men were the butt of a lot of jokes
That is
like
fair.
this, and I don't think it would get written in that way. And
At
maybe
least-
not this, maybe not so bad, but
Yeah.
I would say
There's-
I will actually give them a lot of credit for
yeah,
like
they handled
they're-
that very well for
they
a 90s
did not
sitcom.
throw just like you said, they did
The
not
joke-
make him the butt of the joke.
The joke
He was his
isn't
own-
he's gay. The joke is he thinks Niles is his hot
that's
for him.
and it
That's
was
where the humor comes
but
from.
the
And then
one-
when you compare it, go ahead.
I was gonna say as Niles, like speaking of that, like when the way that the lines they gave his dad to describe him, oh, he's been feeling this his entire, like he's super into it. Like the way they just oh my god.
Miscommunication, just like we'll go to your room. I tend to make a lot of noise.
I think that it's so
It's interesting because it does speak to how out of place homosexuality was probably thought to be in the 90s versus like today. But like it
which
also,
was it sorry, I just want to jump on top of that. What's that really famous
Will and Grace?
Thank you. When did that come out? Was that like a little bit after this?
I don't know the years, but it's 90s is its heyday.
90s? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That
like
was
late,
huge.
I
That's
think
another
like late
huge
90s.
one. It's another huge one.
I
I've
think-
never met a fan of it.
But
I think
you
that
know
was
his
the show
story.
that taught me that gay people existed. Like how do I want to say this? what a gay person actually was, and it wasn't just a derogatory term used by my friends in middle school.
Yes, exactly.
Those days.
Which I thought, this show handled it perfectly. And
well, I mean, you compare it to something like Friends. Friends hasn't aged as well because there are a lot of gay jokes.
Friends is not, which it's interesting because at least when you compare Friends to this, like they're both, I'm assuming, like Friends, this is filmed in the 90s. I'm assuming this was also filmed actually in front of a live studio audience.
I think so. I can't remember.
Well, just because, like, I mean, when you film stuff like that, it's so different. Like you are also putting on a show for everyone. Just that's there. Like, there's two different levels of acting, and I think the way that this committed to it, it didn't seem like there were a lot of pauses for the laugh track. Like, it felt just very authentic. Where sometimes Friends or other 90s feels like they pause because they want the audience laugh. Because they want the audience to laugh. But this one, it felt more natural to me. Again,
it feels like a play.
A lot more of this was the comedy of them going and who's going to be in the next room?
Yep.
Who's going to be in the next room? It wasn't so much jokes.
Yeah, it was a lot of physical humor and just situational more than just jokey jokes
and
out of the mouth.
Delivery of lines. Whoever played Annie was playing it perfect. When her introduction is, what do you say? She's kind of stupid. Jeez.
They were a little brutal.
But she wasn't.
But the brothers are always talking about people like that.
I know, it's just funny.
They're pompous.
He's like, she's Eliza Doolittle and I'm her Henry. With the right Henry, and she goes, you put the pig in Pygmalion. And I go, that's great.
For the record, Will and Grace came out in 1998 and lasted 11 seasons.
98.
Although I think one of those might have been a reboot season.
Yeah, they did reboot it at one point.
Wow. I didn't realize that. Wow.
But, so we've got to that point. So I'm dying to ask you guys. We went through a whole month of Jared-atrics. We went through I Love Lucy. We went through MASH. We went through the Andy Griffith Show. We went through the Golden Girls. And now Frasier. 5 decades. Which one is y'all's favorite? As we lose our Shark Tale shirt.
Pour one out for Shark Tale.
Well, here's the thing. Are we going off of show or just the episode? We're just going off the episode, right?
The episode.
Okay.
We can't go off the show.
I know.
All of us have seen all
I know.
shows.
I'm just saying, like, making sure because I have a very difficult choice to make.
I know. I am still racking in my. I know which two it's between, and I think you guys can already know which one it's between for me. For me, it's between Golden Girls and Frasier.
Pick one.
Oh, that's so.
Go with Frasier because of recency.
So Frasier,
you were laughing the hardest.
Yeah,
I was. Frasier made me.
I think we all were laughing the hardest.
The only issue is because I've seen more of Golden Girls and I like that show. It's hard for me to separate that out. But I think if we're just looking at episodes, this episode of Frasier is probably my number one. But
me next?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm gonna go with MASH.
That is a great episode.
Reminded me of Scrubs, and Scrubs is one of my favorite shows.
Very fair. I didn't know MASH was more medical, so I thought that was interesting.
I think MASH, like, it's a acronym. I think the first word is medical.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Medical.
Isn't it?
Army.
No, it's mobile. I thought it was
Okay.
medical. Mobile Army Surgical Hospital.
Yeah.
So surgeons there. I thought it was medical. That would have been funny if it was medical, but it's mobile.
Got surgical in it. So.
I didn't know that.
And hospital.
And obviously,
I don't know. What are you talking about?
I think I'm probably wrong. I never remember what MASH stands for, but so you choose Frasier.
I think mine is Frasier.
And yours is MASH.
It's hard.
That is it, because MASH has funnier episodes, but I chose that one because it's such a great episode, because it perfectly shows how serious they get.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll just have to go with Frasier for the episode itself.
That's what I had to do. I had to boil it down to which episode.
I can't even choose between the shows either, because they're two of my favorite sitcoms of all time.
That's fair. So is the answer for the episode
Frasier
of Frasier
for this episode specifically.
All right.
Just in terms of it, man, that I forgot how funny this episode.
I couldn't stop laughing.
What was it? I laughed super hard. We both did. It took us a second, and we laughed really hard at a joke. What was it? It was right before all the doors. They said something, and it took us a second, and then we started losing it.
Was that when he walked out with the champagne? No, that was before.
Oh, no. It was. I'm going to just bring this to Dad.
It was before all that.
That's what
it was either when they were drinking the rum or right before.
Is it just when they said, well, good night, mate?
No, it was way before that. But I'll think of it later. But I remember it took us a second, and then when we got it, we started laughing really hard. But I don't remember.
Yeah, but that was good. Okay. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching us. And if you like our commentary of these shows, go watch them yourself, and then tell us what you think of them. I'm dying to know. But anyway, Jared. After they watched us, I'm assuming they like us, and if not, then all to you. But where can they find us? Where can they follow us if they want to hear our stuff?
Some funny stuff?
Oh, no.
Well, you see, about when you watch a show like Frasier, and you're running room to room, you realize something. This is pretty funny. And one of those rooms, when you turn the light on, there you'll find our TikTok. Because it's very funny.
Oh, no. That makes it sound icky.
Oh, no.
The off-slate TikTok is just waiting in the bed for you.
This is why you don't drink your water during the episode. I told you not to do that. Now it's all over you like a little baby.
I think you got it all the way to the umbrella box.
God, I wasn't ready for that.
So that's why they're umbrellas.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I hope and pray you use that clip of you just spitting everywhere. Listen to us on Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Evil Overlord, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and please like and subscribe on YouTube. Hit the bell.
Yeah, so
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding dong, ding dong. Thank you everybody for listening. I don't remember what we have coming up in next month's Off Slate or Bite Size, but we'll find out. We're gonna keep you on your toes, and it's gonna be fun. So from all of us here at Off Slate Media, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. So don't forget,
take a bite.
Bite me off a piece of that. Bite-sized Thursday!